And Nick, whenever you're ready.
All right, guys, in the chat, NFL or college first? Let me know. I'm seeing mostly NFL. We're going NFL. Give me 1 second. I got a point. I got different points in the game I want to watch. All right, I'm sharing my screen. All right, guys, so we're gonna go starting first off with the Chiefs Ravens from this past weekend. For those of you who are on this film session last year, like we watched some Chiefs games a few different times, and it's just really like when we watch this film, guys, the biggest thing we want to get out of it is like why the offense is doing what they're doing when they see the defense they're seeing and why the defense is lining up how they are. So when we look at this formation, we see, I mean, I can ask you guys because we've been talking about it week by week. What personnel do we see by the offense here? I'll give you a hint, and this is a tight end right here. 11
11.
personnel, exactly. So I can't really tell. Maybe this is a no, this is Kelsey over here. This looks like Juju right here. Yeah, so it looks like tight end over here. So guys, remember, it's always running back first, tight end second when we're looking at the personnel. When we're looking at coverage, I saw a few people mentioning coverage. What coverage do we think we're in right now as a defense? Remember, like when we go through this film, guys, we're looking at context clues. We're looking at how the defense is lined up. What is their leverage? When I talk about leverage, is like, are they lined up outside shade? Are they lined up inside shade? Are their shoulders turned inside? Are their shoulders facing the defense? Like these are the small details you have to notice when you're looking at a defense to understand what they're in. So I see cover two, some man stuff. So I'm looking at cover two and man. So let's run it and see. There's first down for the Chiefs after a turnover. Get a base cover two look here, guys. So cover two guys, good shout. Good shout. Cover two eyes, you have eyes back here. Mahomes gets through his progression, just gets a few yards here. As a quarterback, guys, like this is I know we can't do this in Flagstar, but this is like when you guys are when you're a quarterback and you have like this, you like he could have possibly thrown it right here, but he's looking at this guy. He maybe could have fit it in this window here, but he's just not willing to risk it. So he's not just going to force a pass in there. Like if any of you quarterbacks, like if it gets down, like the sack count's coming down, like it's better to just throw the ball out of bounds or throw the ball at the feet of someone else than try to risk a pass. Like live to fight another down always. Second down here. Looks like 12 personnel here, guys. Two tight ends, two receivers, one running back. So it's our running back number first, tight end number second. Defense, we're looking like we're potentially getting man free. When I say man free, guys, it means it's man across the board and then there's a free safety over top. I'm looking at square shoulders from the defense, so I'm possibly thinking man free. After we saw cover two last time, it was kind of they showed cover two, they played cover two. Here you get motion, you have a following in motion. I think that's Marlon Humphreys right there following him, following Worthy across the field. Yeah, so we're thinking, man, you get a blitz here. We see blitz here. We're thinking these two for these two, probably. He might have eyes on the running back, or someone has, and Humphreys is here. Oh, that's actually interesting. So they do play man free, but the way they run it, guys, is like they have these three kind of sorting out the running back, the tight end, and this guy right here. So they see the running back is not released. They have a drop coverage here from this defensive tackle. So he's kind of just dropping and playing spy over the quarterback. They kind of mess their coverage up here. And Marlon Humphreys gets cooked down the field. When you have man coverage, guys, receivers, win your route, win your matchups. Look at this. Just literally a simple fade route. What you'll notice on this, guys, is like the way he runs this route. he's getting his separation once he gets on the toes of the defense. So you see, he comes off the ball, he gets right on Marlon Humphrey's toes right here, and then he's able to separate because that causes him to react. And at that point, guys, they're on the same level. So like once you're able to attack the toes of the defense and then get into your move, like you guys are on the same playing field at that point. The defense is not out in front of you at that point. So when you run these routes, guys, like watch how he just presses the leverage here. He gets right on his toes, is able to release outside. That's a good throw.
Guys, we talk about quarterbacks grass, right? As a receiver, when we run these go routes, these fade routes, like we've talked about it a few times, make sure we're not hugging the sideline, getting right up next to it. You got to be able to give the quarterback a little bit of space in the sideline. And
And you
I mean,
see
that's
how the ball comes
beautiful. Yeah,
outside. Yeah.
like that's where he puts it.
Ball comes outside over his shoulder. Great throw.
Nick, can you go back to that one more time?
Yep.
And another thing, I was actually talking about this at my team practice tonight with my sixth graders. Like when we run a go route, guys, we don't always have to, or let me take that back. I thought he did an inside release there, but he did have enough space here to get an outside release. What I was going to say though is if you are a receiver and you're able to get inside of him, just to make sure you give yourself enough space on the sideline, that's fine, right? Like we don't always have to go outside of him. And you can even see Worthy here, he pushed up on him to make sure he was able to stay up on his path, right? I see a lot of times when we run go routes and flag star, like I could see us just right here, like taking pause a minute, like just being here and just taking like this path. And like we got like he does a really good job here of staying as vertical as possible. And that's a
Notice
big
how
thing, receivers.
Notice how he stacks him. Like
Yeah.
he sees where he's at. And what I mean by stack, like at this point in time, he's making sure that he's over top of the defender. So there's no way that that ball is thrown out in front. There's no way he can cover him. So if you get past someone on a go route, guys, like you want to stack him. So basically you want to get right in his path of running. So he's just has to chase you the whole way. And you see he does a good job there and gives Mahomes grass on the sideline to just deliver a good ball.
Also, guys, I want to try to answer more questions tonight. So if anybody has a question, just do that like raise your hand thing and I'll unmute you.
All right, in the chat, what coverage do we think it is? And give me the personnel too. Coverage and personnel. On film, guys, it's honestly like I'm getting you guys ball knowledge here. Like film on watching the all 22 like this film, it's kind of hard to tell like unless you really know the players on the team, like what is what. Like you could think like this is the tight end out here right now. Like this Kelsey's out here. And like unless you know like watching the Chiefs, like you might think that's a receiver. So sometimes the personnel is hard to cover. And like that's why every team in the league has someone before each play telling the defensive coordinator what the personnel is so then they can make their defensive call. So we're seeing a lot of man calls right here. A lot of people guessing man. We don't get motion here. We kind of get a cover two man here. And then it looks like we have blown coverage. Luckily, the ball's not thrown that way, but let me get back to that because that was
Yes,
interesting.
we've talked about it, guys. So like the difference between the two main types of cover two you're gonna see. This is just your basic cover two, where we're man underneath with two high safeties. Tampa two would be where those underneath corners are just playing zone, right? Staying in
Exactly.
the flats.
So this is like two man, they call it. And you see, like, he sees four threats to this side. They have four over here. But who's that? Who's number 14 again? I forget. Kyle Hamilton. He gets over top there. You get Xavier Worthy on the bottom, guys. Like Coach Sam just talked about inside outside release. Like this is just a simple go route again at the bottom of the screen. And look at the release. He sees outside leverage. So what I mean by outside leverage, the corner's playing outside shade of Worthy here. So Worthy gives him that little good jab off the line, gets inside, and then he immediately stacks him, like I just said. He's getting in his path so that the ball, if the ball's thrown out in front, he's able to make a play. Ball's a little too far out in front, but that's like Exactly what I'm talking about. He does it 2 plays in a row. You see the move here, watch the release. Obviously, you don't get pressed in Flagstar, so the release, like you don't really get press coverage in Flagstar. So like the releases are not as important, but guys, like
When you
just
guys are
this
doing
release,
one-on-ones in practice, right? Like,
yeah, like just look at the release at the bottom of the screen here, like, guys. Like once you guys get to a higher level of football, like this is the type of moves you have to make off the line to be able to jab inside, and you already got him beat. If the ball's placed a little better, then that's probably a touchdown.
guys, Mike McDaniel, the Dolphins I'm sorry, Dolphins coach, he's kind of going through it right now. But one like he was seen as like a
Big
savant,
win
right?
last
And
night.
yeah, big win last night. But he when he like does like day one stuff with his receivers, he shows videos of NBA players doing crossovers. Like that's essentially what you're doing when you're trying to release off the line, right? Like you're trying to hit them with like a 1-2, you know? So that's something that they're doing in the NFL is like they're really just teaching like basketball technique moves off the line, right? So that's just something you can always just do in your house. You're just walking to the kitchen, 1-2, 1-2, right? Just constantly thinking about, how to get separation.
Luca, from a few minutes ago, I see your question saying, what would be the smartest move to do if you see two people coming, but you are not in that zone and the quarterback throws it to him? Trying to understand your question, but I think like if you're when we talk about zone defense, guys, like there's like a common misconception in zone that like if I'm in man, I don't look at the quarterback. If I'm in zone, then I have eyes to the quarterback. My zone defense, guys, and I think a lot of other coaches, like your zone defense has to be eyes scanning the field of the receivers that you're covering. Like the only real people that should have eyes on the quarterback is safeties, and that's like still not as much as I really think. Like if you're hanging out in your zone and you're able to get your eyes back and forth and find routes and cover them in your zone, I think that's the move. But you have to make sure like where I see a lot of teams mess up in zone defense, guys, is if your eyes are just sinking back at the quarterback and like you're not watching the routes in your area. So like if you're in your zone and you see you're scanning the field and you don't see anyone in your zone, but you see two people rush into the other zone, like that's your cue to get over there and go help make a play. But that's a good question. All right, here,
Luca, does
guys.
that answer your question?
I hope it answers your question. That was kind of a mouthful.
I think that's kind of what he's getting at. All right. Well,
I just think
Luca,
like
Luca
what
disappeared. All right, there he is. All right,
He's
cool.
still thinking. Okay, awesome. All right, now we get a quick screen here. Interesting play call here. You don't really have the numbers for it. You want to release these guys out, but these guys aren't going to help. And that's not Travis Kelce of old, but he breaks the tackle and gets a few yards. Not a bad play. All right, end of the quarter, so we flip field. All right, we get this orbit motion here, guys. It's not like, I mean, as you guys can see, you have a tight end on the ball here, so he's able to motion from this side. You have to have someone on the ball on each side. Not technically, but like you have to have in the NFL and college and high school, you have to have a certain amount of people on the ball. That's all that matters. Like there has to be a certain amount of people on the ball. It doesn't matter what side. But you see they send that motion across. We're gonna go from the back view here. I want to talk about a little bit about the run play that's being run here. So, guys, we talked about it. This guy trips and falls on his face. But I've said it before. Let me see if anyone remembers. Like, I talked about the difference between one polar and two polars. Like, what I mean by polar, offensive lineman is moving from his spot, running around to go try to block someone else. Could anyone tell me what this play is? I'd be impressed. Nyan counter. Look at that. That's a great shout. Good job, Nyan. This is counter, exactly.
Nah, and you might
Obviously,
find yourself a job here, son.
yeah, Nyan's on top of it. Nyan knows ball. But as you guys can see, like 76, you obviously don't want him tripping over 52's foot. Like you can see, like his right foot here gets caught on 52's foot and he just falls on his face. But Kareem Hunt's able to find a few yards up the middle. But yeah, that's counter. Two polars counter, one polar, we call it power. Here, this is power. So they literally gave us the two gap scheme. We call it gap scheme, guys. Like that's like more high level stuff. Like it's not everyone like, but like gap scheme is when we're pulling guys and we're blocking gap specific gaps. Like here we ran counter last play. You can almost call this counter because he's kicking out there. This guy's kicking out and then they're wrapping the polar, but this is just power right here, like lead power. He's lead blocking here. You have the guard pull. Just find a little gap there. Let's see what we got here. This is read
Little
option.
RPO.
Well, RPO, yeah. Yeah, guys, you see RPO here? We've talked about this play week in and week out. This is the cue right here where Coach Sam just drew. That's the cue. Mahomes' eyes, right when the ball snapped, eyes are there. He commits. Slant right over top. Too easy. All right. 11 personnel again.
Chad, what's the coverage there?
Yeah, I've been loafing on asking you all the coverage. This is just inside zone, guys. As an offensive line, I'll show from behind. This is just blocking to your next gap over. We're trying to hit it up the middle. They're going to double team for 40. This double team's coming up for Patrick Queen right here. And we just get falling off blocks.
And I think
So
that
you
was
see,
cover three.
I can go back and check.
Guys, look at the corners. I mean, they may be manned up, but I don't know. It looks like they're more into zone
It looks
technique.
like three.
You see how
Yeah.
they're like 45 degrees? That looks like three to me.
All right, next play here. What coverage? I gave y'all a sneak peek. What coverage? This is our Tampa 2. This is not our two man. This is our Tampa 2 right here. And they do a good job in coverage there. I want to see if he had anyone here.
Mick, I have a question that I think would be interesting for everyone. From
Yeah,
like a
what
defensive play caller's perspective, like what do you think the thought process is for calling a cover two here as opposed to, three or man free, like what do you think is going through the defense coordinator's head?
I think when you look at when we see 11 personnel, obviously like your defensive coordinator is typically going to call the play before they get lined up or right when they're getting lined up. But if we're in 11 personnel here, guys, like, and I'm seeing a cluster set to the outside, I, as a defensive coordinator, am probably thinking cover two here because if I'm seeing Kelsey separated out wide, I'm probably thinking a quick out's coming. So I want to get the flat covered and something's coming over top. They're going to high low someone over here, is my guess. You also want to be in that Tampa two because you're thinking of any crossing routes. So you want to have the middle of the field covered and also have the middle of the field covered by this backside safety. So when you're looking at like when these teams go into a game week, like they know specifically like when they're in first and 10 and 11 personnel, they're going to come out in these three different formations. And this is how we're going to call it. So like the game planning that goes into it, guys, is such like a like the amount of hours put into trying to figure out what to run is just insane. Like they're the defensive coordinator for the Ravens knows like if they're in the red zone right now, and this is what, second and 10, 11 personnel, these are the three formations that they're always going to be in based on film study, based on watching all their past games. So it's like coming into the week, if I know 11 personnel in the red zone, let's get into cover two. If we see Kelsey attached to the line of scrimmage, we probably want to be in man. If we see him unattached, we probably want to be in a zone call. So that's kind of what happens in that kind of play calling. But there's so much like pre-work that goes into that. And can anyone tell me the route concepts run here? I mean, we see it week in and week out. Every game we watch, we see
We
this.
got to know what this is, guys.
It's just mesh. It's just simple mesh. It's always just, oh, I just lost it. Well, that's okay. We're gonna move on to for our last couple minutes, we're gonna move on to some college.
There's a phrase, guys, that is popular amongst coaches. Keep it simple, stupid,
Yeah.
right? Like, we don't got to overcomplicate it. At the highest level, they're running the same concepts that we're running. They're running Smash, running Mesh, they're running Drive, they're running, four verts. This stuff translates, right, guys?
Guys, when I first started, I coached at Georgetown for a few years, and when I first started coaching there, the first thing like the coach said to me was like, "This is football is not rocket science. Like it's a game. Like we all know it, we all love it. Like it's teams as we get through higher levels, like they're all running the same stuff. They just find different ways to do it." All right, getting into Georgia, Alabama here. First drive of the game. What coverage do we think this is? What does it look like? Like what have I called it when there's like this little shell over the defense? What have I told you guys that is? Nyon, first one again. It's pretty good. I see a bunch of people saying quarters. Good. Yeah, quarters is when we kind of put this blanket over the defense. It's kind of the cover four, but they're still playing a little bit at depth here. They're letting the safeties go deepest, deeper than the deepest. I'm always going to say that to my safeties. We have to be deeper than the deepest at safety. See the motion here? Potentially man. Probably not, though. He's widening out, so we're thinking zone for sure. But you see, maybe we have a spy here or pressure off the edge. We get a cover three look here. He's back. He's back. He's coming to fill. It's a good, cool little way of seeing like disguise coverages, guys. Like it looks like quarters if you're the quarterback here. Middle of the field's open. He has no throw here really. Like he has this. Like they kind of attach the RPO to it at the top of the screen, and his eyes are just tracking this guy right here. So if he committed to the run right away, this ball is probably just thrown out here. Go to the next one here. Motion here. Don't follow it. We're thinking cover three again. They roll into a cover two. Is a good little disguise as well. Like we're thinking cover three as a quarterback, rolling here into cover two. He's out to the flat. You get a rollout from the quarterback. Gotta cover him. Did he drop that? Oh no. Please stop drawing on the screen. So we get this cover two look here, guys. They roll into it and they just don't account for this guy in the middle of the field. You're rolling here. He gets sucked down a little too far. And boom. He has the throw over top. I said this to my team this week. My fourth graders, if anyone's on here, like if we get balls thrown to us, guys, we got to be able to make plays. If our quarterback puts it in the right spot, like, got to make a play. Obviously, we're going to drop some passes. We're going to make mistakes, but this is the best receiver on the field right here. Brutal.
That's the cover of NCAA 26.
Yeah. So guys, as you can see, like the best players in the country make those mistakes. But it's about how they respond to those mistakes. Like Ryan Williams came and made a bunch of plays throughout this game. This is first quarter. This is their first drive of the game, pretty much. All right, we're seeing a cover three look here. Ball's thrown. We call this a chains route. I told you guys this. This is just like running a little stop at the chains, bottom of the screen. But guys, like I just talked about it, like you have a big play from your team, like you could have scored a touchdown. Everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, we could have scored that touchdown." It's about how you move on from that, guys. It's a long game, especially early in the game. Like you just have to be able to get back on the line, run the next play, and boom, first down.
And guys, just real quick for all the quarterbacks here, Mick, can you go back to that footwork? So my coach used to kill us for what you're going to see 15 do here. He takes what's called a false step. in quarterbacks, this is why I like starting with my right foot in front because we get to take that out of our drop, right? But this is a five step with the hitch. Not even. He's throwing it off the fifth step. So I specifically said this to the quarterbacks in the training session. You're not really going to have to throw off the fifth step until you get to college, right? Because like that is hard. And the timing of that, the drop of that, like that has to be so precise that I wasn't
Yeah.
actually asked to do that until I got to college, throwing off the fifth step like he did right there. Okay, so when we're trying to throw these deep routes, guys, if you're trying to time it up with your receiver, I always recommend taking that five step with the hitch. Get some depth from the line of scrimmage, and then it allows you to drive into your throw too. Right. But this is just like this is why we're working on this stuff, right? Like we want to be able to get our footwork as good as the Alabama quarterbacks.
And he
And
gets
he's
lit
still
up.
taking a false step. Yeah, he got lit up, huh?
And but you see, he sits in there, delivers the throw, and is able to take a hit. All right, next first down here. Dropping into cover three again. We get another play action. Oh, that's probably should have been picked. That's a scary throw from a quarterback, guys. If you're a quarterback and you're rolling out, like these are the types of throws you don't like to see. Like he's about to get hit and he's just lobbing that up. We'll watch it from the back view. They do a good job here, Georgia, of getting pressure on this. You see, he doesn't fall for it too much. He's able to keep outside contain. Like he's the edge of the defense and he's able to kind of maintain an edge.
Oh,
We, we say in all levels of football, if you have no edge, you have no chance. No edge of the defense, you have no chance to win, and that should be a pick. Those are the types of plays, guys. Georgia ends up losing this game. Like you look back and it's like I just said, like if you get a chance, we got to make plays, guys. That's kind of what separates like the best players in the country from other guys that aren't going to go to the league. Like you see these guys that go to the league, like when they get chances, they're making it happen. Get a little run here. That's just tough running. It's just inside zone. I should call that duo. So when I say so inside zone, guys, we would block, everyone would be blocking to their left. So they'd double team here. They would be double teaming here up to three. But when I say duo, it's a different play. They're kind of like blocking their side of the defense and kind of just create this little middle edge right here. And this running back's not a great read by the running back here. If he gets the ball and sticks his foot right in the ground here, like this is his cutback here, but he kind of tries to jump outside. But like as a running back, like look at this green grass right here. If he had that jump cut. And that's probably then if you get to that point as a running back, guys, and I have this green grass right here, then you have to make this man miss and there's a touchdown. Make one man miss. Another third down here for Alabama or for Alabama. You get a cover two here. Look again on third down. And that's that little window shopping we call it.
somebody, if anybody can tell me in the chat what we call this throw against this defense, I'll be so pumped. Because we talked about this a couple times now.
Oh,
It's
this is gonna be
Noble,
Nile.
you're definitely right. It's gonna be Nyan. Nyan, what you got, dude? All right.
It's called
We
a hole
called
shot. It's called a hole
it's called a
shot.
hole shot throw. So it's like right after the corner before the safety in that zone. That's just I mean, I always tell people like that was my favorite thing to throw because you just put this on the line.
Like he sees this guy take this step back towards the out here. This is just a like
Yeah, yeah. Can anyone tell us what this route concept is?
I saw someone say it.
Ohio. Yep.
Yeah, it's just Ohio. Like it's like instead of kind of like the quick out, like I said, everyone runs the same thing, guys, but it's just variations of it. Like instead of this quick out here, he's kind of running like two steps out and then sitting down right there. They want this corner to commit to this because I promise you, like he probably knows, like I said, film preparation, watching just hours of film as a player. Like I promise you, we've said it before, these guys like spend multiple hours a day leading up to the game. Probably 3 hours a day leading up to the game every day of the week watching film of Georgia. So like he's probably seen this defense before, knows he's going to get covered too. And right when he sees that step right here, the ball's out already. All right, a little bunch set. Uh-oh,
Oh,
big fella out
this
here.
play. Did you see this play, Mick? This is awesome.
Yeah, this is great. Is this? I don't think this is the one. I think they ended up doing it later.
Ah,
Yeah, this is not the one. They set it up though. If anyone saw this, they ended up throwing 70 for the ball, and Big Man was just stumbling down the sideline.
barreling people.
It's not someone what you want to get in front of him. He's 380 pounds. But
Yeah,
that's
Charlie at the end, Mick, you can pull it up on YouTube. We can watch it.
yeah, I'll try to find it. I want to try to find it on here, but I'm not sure. Sam, could you do a little research and see at
Yeah, I
what
got
time in the
you.
game that happened?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Now we have looks like cover three again. Again, rolling into a cover two, and you get a run underneath. Guys, cover two is not great to run the ball in because you have like this whole support system right here. Typically, like when you see big runs break, you're going to see them in man or in cover three. Typically, in cover three, you're going to see a lot of big runs broke. Cover two, not as much because you kind of have a lot of, especially if it's Tampa two, like with these four guys just kind of hanging out here to fill in the box. So short gain there.
Mick, it's with 46 seconds left in the second quarter.
Okay, perfect. That'll be the last one we watch. Screen out here. Like I said before, this is a guy who just dropped a touchdown pass on this drive. You get another chance. Go make a play, guys. Chuck it out to him. Oh no, that's
That's
not
not
him
that.
actually.
This kid is a stud, though. I can't remember his name, number five in Alabama.
That's
This
not him.
kid's he's gonna be a first round pick. He's a dog.
But guys, you see these little screens? We don't get screens in Flagstar obviously as much because can't block, but you just see the vision right here by him setting up blocks. You see how he like kind of we talk about setting up blocks, guys. Like he's kind of pressing outside, so this guy wants to show his head outside, then he's able to cut in. And then once he cuts in, this guy's thinking inside, he cuts back out. It's just creativity while running the ball. He get another run, stuffed, not much going. We call this a mass shift, guys. Like everyone on the offense is shifting. They're basically flipping formations fully. So they come out in this unbalanced set. When I say unbalanced, it's everyone is all to one side of the field. So it's unbalanced to one side. They mass shift. I would call this like, they get into a like a I call this Troy. Everyone calls it something different. But this is tight end off the ball, two receivers on. So you see guys like he's off the ball, he's off the ball. These two guys both have to be on the ball. Like that's just the way it's not the same, like obviously not the same as Flagstar, but like in order for this guy to be able to come in motion, he has to be off the ball. So these two guys have to be on the ball. And that's not a very good play call. I don't like running this play, guys. Like I don't like this play called to the boundary here. So what I mean by the boundary is like the field we call like the big side of the field. The boundary is towards the sideline. So when the ball's on the right hash here, the hashes are up the middle of the field. These two things right here. So the ball's on the right hash. This would be the boundary. The left side of the field would be the field. So I don't know if I really like this little quick screen to the boundary right here because like it's just not a lot of space. And even if that ball is thrown on his chest, like he misses that block immediately. I don't know what he's doing.
Hey Brian, what's your question, dude? Here, I just unmuted you.
Why aren't you allowed to be unbalanced in Flagstar?
You know, that's a question for a higher power than me.
That's just the rules, dude. I don't know.
Yeah,
Every league's yeah, that's just the rules. Like
Yeah, I'm not sure why. It's just that's just how we do it. I think it's good that we have people on the ball on both sides. It kind of just makes it more like just yeah, but I can't necessarily answer that question. I'm sorry.
that's honestly
Okay.
a pretty good question though.
That
I
is a good
respect it.
question. That is a good question.
All right, Milo.
Maybe we'll change it one day. You never know.
I was gonna say more of a comment about how if we if my if my team was playing defense again if any team was probably playing defense against this, that motion and then the quick pass, when you do that, like if you're playing man, it's like the guy's gonna get him, he's gonna follow him across the field, and he's gonna come up. I think that could be an easy pick sometimes.
Yeah,
Like
definitely. And you
the
can tell
ball's
there
not if the
and
ball's like thrown a little higher than expected,
Yeah,
like
that could
that
be a
ball
pick
was low.
six.
yeah, no,
Like
Milo, you're right. And you can see they're in man here. Like he has to bust his butt across the field to try to go cover that. And he makes a kind of a risky play here as the corner or this safety, this slot safety to kind of jump this because he sees the ball out right now. So his eyes are on his man. He's kind of peeking in the backfield. He sees the ball out, so he's able to jump that. But if that ball is held and he tries to jump it, then you might have the route in over top. But yeah, I agree. If that's a bad throw and you're able to jump that, like definitely.
Anderson, what was your question? Anderson, don't bail on me now.
It's just winning.
All right, Nathan, what's your question?
Well, you unmute me.
I just tried. All right, dude. All right, Anderson, go, dude. What?
My question, this is totally unrelated, but my question was that why can't you jump and spin in rec league, but you can jump and spin in elite?
Okay, that's just Anderson, a ref not knowing that you're allowed to jump in any level of flag star. Okay, and I think that's a common misconception. You're allowed to do that.
My
We just don't want y'all trying to hurdle people.
Yeah, you just can't hurdle people and you can't try to like you can't dive, but if you
Yeah.
want to do a jump spin, that's allowed. So just if any of you guys were wondering that, or if you've
That's
had that
Teddy's
called
go-to
against
move.
you, yeah, like do that move, dude. Do that move. All right,
Teddy does it every time.
Nathan, is that what's your question?
my question is, are you allowed to like jam people and flag elite? Are you allowed to jam people until you get 5 yards, or you just can't jam?
Nah, you
No,
can't
it's
jam at all.
non-contact.
Fully
Non.
non-contact league. But
I respect the question.
yeah, that's not it's a good question. That's actually how elite used to be, like in the very beginning, but we took that away. There was these kids were getting into it a little too much. Lucas, what's up? What's your question?
Can we watch Vanderbilt versus Alabama
No.
next Chalk Talk?
Oh, next Chalk Talk. Yeah, do they play this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I'm down to watch that.
Yeah, we can watch that for sure.
I thought you were saying right now, dude.
All right,
Uh,
let's
hey,
finish this drive off and then
let's
we'll
get one more question in here.
yeah, go ahead.
Excuse me, for like some quarterbacks, like, but not me. So sometimes, like when I used to play quarterback, why can't we run when no one's open? Why can't we only run if they blitz?
Because this is I love the
Okay.
questions, guys, but last rule question. Let's
Yeah.
not focus on the rules. You can't run as a quarterback because it's just
Dude,
not
because
really fun for the defense.
imagine a league where you just put the fastest kid at quarterback and then he just catches the snap in every play he runs. Like that's not teaching football, guys. Like that's just playing, I don't
That's
know.
backyard football. That's just playing
Yeah.
recess with your friends.
Okay.
But yes,
But
I appreciate the
good
question. But
that actually used to be allowed, just so you know. But yeah, that's just the reasoning behind it.
Thank you.
we just don't want people catching the snap and running right away. Like we want to get everyone involved.
All right, thank you.
All right. We're
All
gonna
right,
run this
Jack.
play.
I'm sorry. Last question, Jack. Last question. And Will, if you have a quick
We
question.
can take all the questions. We can take
Yeah.
them.
Next week, can we maybe watch a little bit of like highlights from the Maryland Washington game?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
If there's
sure.
some good
Thanks.
highlights.
Yeah, that's got to be a
Thanks.
good game.
Thanks.
All right, Will.
My question is, why did so many rules used to be allowed?
Okay.
I think it's just
Burke.
last rule question, but I think you start a league and you just adjust as you see rules needed. Like you just it was early on in a league, and then as more years have passed, it's just like rules to make the league better and make it more competitive.
Yeah, like
Okay.
William, like 30, 40 years ago, the goalpost used to be at the very front of the end zone. And people would slam into it all the time. Go back and look at videos of that. It's crazy. So yeah, sometimes the rules just change, based on just trying to make the game better. But
That's a little
all right,
gruesome.
all right, Burke, I'll let you ask a question if it is a football related question.
I'm pretty sure number 5 on Alabama's name is Ryan Alexander.
Yeah, no, it's
I don't even know. All right. Let's finish off with this last play, guys.
It's Jeremy Bernard.
yeah, Bernard.
All right, guys, I talked about it before. They kind of showed this early on, the big man out front. They motion him out here. They don't really adjust to the coverage, guys. You see, like they put all these guys out here. They have an edge rusher, they have a linebacker, the safety over top. You see numbers, the motion here. He follows it. They're in man. Quick throw to the big man. And that's not someone you want to get in front of. We'll watch it from behind. But you can see this is I played offensive line, guys. This was my dream as an offensive lineman. To catch a pass in a game. And look at number 31 trying to tackle him. He sees, like, come on. Number 31's like, I have zero chance. He just tries to dive at his feet. No chance. I wish he scored so bad. This is called a business decision by 31 here. He's gonna decide not to get ran over. All right, we'll end on that. Another good session, guys. I appreciate all y'all being on here. Good numbers again. Keep pulling up, guys. Keep coming. Keep learning more football. Keep talking about it. It will only help in the long run.
Thank you, Coach. Bye.
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 Bye,
Bye.
Coach.
See you guys.
Adios.
Coach. Bye, Coach.